A midlife crisis is more than just a cultural stereotype. It's a real psychological struggle that can surface between the ages of 40 and 60. Often triggered by aging, loss, or unmet expectations, it can actually lead individuals to question their identity, make impulsive choices, or abruptly abandon long term commitments. While not officially classified yet as a mental illness, the emotional and relational fallout is very real, especially for the spouses and families left behind. This podcast gives voice to those living through the aftermath, exposing the hidden pain, and seeking accountability, healing, and understanding. Thank you for joining us today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. The stories and events discussed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or professional advice. Any names, locations, or identifying details have been changed to protect privacy. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, or real events are purely coincidental. The information presented on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified expert regarding any decisions related to your specific situation. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the podcast creators. Hello, Bomb Squad. Today we're talking about something that shows up in almost every midlife crisis story. And that is the moment when the person in crisis suddenly believes that they are about to begin an entirely new life. Not a better version of their life, not a repaired version of their life, but a completely new one, totally new life. New partner, new personality, new identity, new happiness, possibly even automatic, built-in new family. And the disturbing part is this. They believe it with absolute conviction. It's almost insane. Well, probably because it is insane. But they believe the solution to their internal chaos is simply to burn down everything they built. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. So, one of the most common things left behind spouses hear during the bomb drop is something like, "Oh my gosh, I just want to be happy. I need a fresh start. I deserve to live my life now." Because really, what were they doing the last 20, 30 years? They weren't living their life? When they say these things, it sounds almost inspirational. I mean, who wouldn't want somebody to be happy and to have a fresh start? Who wouldn't want somebody to start living their life now? I mean, seriously, guys, it sounds inspirational and amazing. But underneath that language is something far more troubling. What they are really saying is, I believe my unhappiness is caused by my current life, not by what is happening inside my own mind. So they begin constructing a fantasy narrative. In that narrative, the marriage becomes the prison. The spouse becomes the villain. The affair partner, becomes the savior. And their future looks magical and like paradise. It's a psychological escape hatch. Because if the problem is internal, then they have to face it. And they can't do that, you guys. But if the problem is external, boom, they just have to run. In many midlife crises, the affair partner becomes the symbol of the new life. They are not just a person. They become a portal. A doorway into a fantasy where the midlife crisis person gets to be younger, desired, free of responsibility, free of history, free of guilt. But here's the truth, you guys. The affair partner is not the new life. They are simply the escape vehicle. A total life raft. Or maybe, in some cases, a wife raft. Get it? Wife raft. When someone is drowning in internal turmoil, the first person who offers emotional oxygen feels like destiny to them. But that doesn't mean it is destiny. It means they were closest to the exit door. To maintain the illusion, the midlife crisis person must do something psychologically necessary. And that is rewrite history. So suddenly the marriage that lasted decades becomes unhappy, toxic, controlling, dead for years. And this rewriting, it serves a purpose. Because if the marriage were good, if the family was loving, if the life they built had value, then destroying it becomes morally completely unbearable. So the brain creates a story where destruction feels justified. And the sad part? Many people in crisis begin to believe their own rewrite. They absolutely start to believe it. The fantasy of this new life also includes something else, and that is reinvention. You'll often see folks become almost somebody completely different. New hobbies, new music, new clothes, new personality, new social circle. Almost like a teenager trying on different identities, because psychologically they are attempting to escape the person that they were. But there is one problem with this new life illusion, and that is you cannot outrun your own brain. The anxiety follows you no matter where you go. The emptiness stays in you no matter what. The unresolved identity crisis follows, and eventually, reality surfaces. Over time, cracks begin to appear because the new life comes with things they didn't expect: financial consequences, loss of children's trust, loss of respect from friends and family, and the slow realization that the internal chaos that they were running from, it is still there. The affair partner who once felt magical now begins to look different, problematic, because now they are not an escape. They are simply another person in this world of chaos. And while this illusion plays out, the people left behind are all living in real reality, rational reality. The spouses left behind are experiencing betrayal trauma. Children are questioning their sense of safety and what's right and what's wrong. Families are now fractured. Lives are totally destabilized. And all because someone believed happiness could be found by burning down their life and starting over. And here's the truth, you guys. You cannot build a peaceful life on top of destruction. And you cannot escape an identity crisis by abandoning the people who loved you. The illusion of the new life eventually collides with reality. But by the time that happens, the damage to everyone else is often permanent. And that's the tragedy of midlife crisis. The people chasing the illusion rarely understand the devastation they leave behind until it's far too late. And to the bomb squad listening tonight, if you are the one left standing in the rubble of someone else's illusion, please hear this. Their fantasy was never proof that you were not enough. It was simply proof that they were running from something inside themselves. And the life they destroyed, that life was real, and you were real. And if you're listening and you're the one in midlife crisis chasing a new life, hear this clearly. The problem was never your family. The problem was the storm inside your very own mind. And destroying the people who loved you, that will never fix it. If someone detonated your life chasing an illusion, remember this. Their crisis was never your failure. And Bomb Squad, remember the most important rule after a bomb drop. Don't chase the blast. Step out of the rubble, reclaim your life, and rebuild something stronger. Because when someone drops a bomb on your life, you don't chase the blast. You survive it. You rebuild beyond it. And you rise stronger than the person who lit that fuse. Until next time, stay strong, Bomb Squad. And thanks for joining me today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. We'll see you in the next episode. If you are a listener who's feeling trapped, restless, angry, or desperate to escape your life, please stop and pause. You do not need to burn your life down to feel alive again. Please visit trinalairdbooks.com for Pause Before You Destroy What You Love. Also available on Kindle in ebook and paperback. Seriously, just pause. Don't lose your legacy over a temporary identity crisis, a temporary mental shift. You deserve the family that you spent decades building, the spouse who has stood by you through thick and thin. Don't make foolish decisions that change the trajectory of your life and those you hold dearest. Please read Pause Before You Destroy What You Love. And no, you can see this through with help and support. Don't run. Your family needs you. Hey guys, this is Trina, and I want to take a moment to speak directly to anyone who didn't choose the collapse but is living with the aftermath. When a spouse enters midlife crisis, the damage doesn't unfold slowly. It happens like an explosion. One day you're living a shared life with your best friend, and the next moment, that person that you have trusted and loved for so many years has emotionally disappeared almost overnight, rewriting history, minimizing the damage, and running from the very family they helped build. Friends are confused, the story gets simplified, and the spouse left behind is often expected to handle it quietly, gracefully, all while absorbing the fallout all alone. After the bomb drop, a survival guide for the left behind spouse was written for you. This book doesn't offer platitudes or false hope. It names what others avoid. Inside, I will walk you through what is actually happening when someone runs from themselves, why chasing answers only deepens the wound, and how to stabilize your life after emotional abandonment. In this book, we talk about why these departures feel so sudden and destabilizing, because in fact, they are destabilizing, and why the spouse who stays is often blamed, erased, or silenced. Why saving yourself is not abandonment, and how to grieve someone who is still alive while finding your footing again. This book does not promise reconciliation. It offers you guys something more necessary at this time, and that is stability, dignity, and a way forward when someone else has chosen to run after the bomb drop. The survival guide for the left behind spouse is available now on Amazon Kindle in both ebook and paperback. It's also available in audio version on Spotify. And if you're standing in the blast radius and wondering how to survive what you did not cause, this book was written for you. Hey, some resources that are available for you guys are thewifeexpert.com. That's Lori McDermott over there at thewifeexpert.com. She also has a new app out. There's tons of videos that can give you all kinds of information on no matter where you are on your MLC journey or trying to reconcile with your spouse. So check out thewifeexpert.com. And if you're not sure if your spouse or yourself is in maybe approaching or in a midlife crisis, be sure to check out Kenda Root's quiz at midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. Again, that's a midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. That's a quick little 2-minute quiz. It's free. So check that out as well. We have a ton of resources out there for you guys. So check them out. Thanks. Hey, if you have a story you'd like to share with our listeners, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. Again, that's mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.